Hey there, this is Erica from Ever Educating, and this channel is teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources for new college instructors. One of my more popular videos is what to do on the first day of class. So the first day teaching, what do you do? I have that video below. Today I'm taking us back 24 hours. What do you do the day before you teach for the first time, or maybe just the first day of that semester? So this is what I would do in those 24 hours. So the first step I would take is gathering my essentials for teaching. Now this will depend on your situation. Are you teaching on campus? Are you teaching remotely? Teaching hybrid? Whatever the case may be, right? The answer will change depending on that situation, that format. But I would gather the essentials. So in my case, the essentials would be a notebook, a pen, and in my case, my iPad. I use it all the time. I have a video about why, right? So those would be like, I need those. I like having a water bottle with me, right? I like having snacks with me, etc. But what do I need, right? What do you need in order to successfully teach? Write a list, gather those materials, and have it ready to go for the next day. That would be step one for me on the day before I taught for the first time. You gathered all that. Next step, make sure your course website works, right? So maybe you're not teaching online, but maybe you are. But even when I taught in person, we had our LMS, we had our course website. So you want to make sure that's functioning the day before you start teaching. So not only functioning, right? So make sure the course is published, but also that any essentials you need for day one are there. Has the syllabus been linked there? Good, right? Have you put in information that students need for day one? Good, right? So make sure that the page actually opens and that they can access what they need for the first day or the first week or whatever the case may be. So this depends on your design of your online course. Maybe you're teaching face-to-face and you're not required to use the online platform. In that case, obviously, you could ignore this advice. But for the most part, there tends to be at least something you put on there. So you want to make sure that's working properly. And if it's not, then you want to make sure you have a number or the email of the person you need to talk to in order to make sure that's fixed as soon as possible. In a similar vein to the first two, do you have the essentials for your students if the students have any essentials? Right? So maybe you have paper syllabi that you're passing out on day one. Maybe you have a paper assignment that you're having students do on day one. Maybe you're gonna pass out a certain postcard activity or index card activity, wherever the case may be, right? Do you have the essentials, not just for you, but also for your students, right? And that's digital with the course website or potentially physical if you're giving them physical items. So all of that again, gather it and prep it for the next day. Do you know where your course is, right? So this might seem ridiculous, but I always have nightmares still, right? Of I forgot what classroom I'm in, right? I forgot what time I'm teaching. I forgot what day I'm teaching, right? So do you know where your classroom is on campus, or do you know what Zoom link you're using for each of your sections, or the Microsoft Teams link, whatever the case may be? Do you know where your classes are for tomorrow? Right? Because this might seem silly, but I was definitely anxious about it myself when I started out and still, to this day. So knowing, okay, yes, I have my 9:30 class tomorrow is in this classroom, but my 11:45 one is in the other building in this classroom. So make sure you have that information. Here's a Zoom link for my morning class. Here's a Zoom link for my next class, etc. Right? You want to make sure you have that so you're not showing up late to your classroom. And then I would say, do you have any contact information needed for teaching? So this might be, who do you contact if there's a problem with technology in the classroom? Have that number written down somewhere, or maybe on your phone. Who do I contact if there's an issue with a student, right? Who do I contact for like an emergency, right? Medical emergency on campus. Like have those contact information ready to go in case something goes wrong, or you just need advice from somebody, right? Do you have the phone number, email address of your advisor? Whatever the case may be here, have that contact info so that you know that if something is unexpected happens, you know who to call and you know the number of that person as well, right? I never had to do this, I was quite lucky, but there are times tech issues do pop up, right? So you want to know IT's number or email address so you can contact them if needed. But I do think it can be helpful to have that emergency contact as well in case, something unexpected happens as well, right? You can immediately go to the person that you need to. So of course, other than these things, you need to have prepped for the first day of teaching. And again, I have that video about what to do on the first day. But these are some tips on what to do the day before you teach for the first time or for the first day of the semester. If you have any questions or concerns about teaching, I do have my console call service that I will link to below. But you can also ask questions on here and recommend video ideas as well in the future, so I can give you some of my own tips based on my experiences. So I'll link below a few relevant videos if you're completely new to teaching, and let me know if you found this video helpful by clicking like below, and subscribe to not miss out on future content.